Hey everyone, Rob the Millennial Renter here, giving you tips and tricks as a renter. There's so much on the internet about, being a landlord, being the best for your tenants, how to evict tenants. There's just so many different resources for landlords, but there's not a ton helping out renters. So that's what I'm here for. Today's video, we're gonna talk about actually getting your deposit back. Here are 5 good tips for getting your deposit back if your landlord tries to keep it. Just a quick note, if you did damage your apartment, don't fight it. The landlord has a right to take whatever they need out of your security deposit, but if you feel like the landlord is trying to make a quick buck off you and you're a great tenant, you left the place super clean, keep watching because these tips are going to be helpful for you. Tip number 1, just say no. Landlords are trying to make money any way they can. Obviously, they're renting you the apartment because they want money monthly. But when you're moving out, you're a great tenant, you've done nothing wrong, property's not damaged, and they're taking money out, just say no. That's not their money, that's your money. Tip number 2, get it in writing. Whatever the landlord's trying to take out for your deposit, that should be in writing with a reason why. And they should be able to provide some type of proof with pictures, documentation, receipts, so that you know that the money was actually spent on what they said it was spent for. And by asking for evidence like receipts, you're calling out the landlord, you're holding them accountable, you're making sure that the work has actually been done, so you're not getting ripped off. Tip number 3, check your lease and local renting laws to figure out if what your landlord is doing is actually legal. There's a lot of times where landlords will do things and it's completely the opposite of whatever law is in place. And as tenants, we sometimes have no idea. So it's really important to familiarize yourself with local laws. And once you learn these laws and find out what your landlord has done wrong, that's when you, in writing, would call out your landlord and say, you can't do this because X, Y, Z. Tip number 4, call a lawyer. And definitely a lawyer that specializes in tenant law specifically. They'll help out for a number of reasons. The first one would be a demand letter. So actually drafting up a letter that says, hey, give me my money, and it's from the lawyer. So that's one way that could be helpful. Another way that could be helpful is they could actually provide mediation between you and the landlord. It's before you would actually go ahead and sue them or take them to small claims. And then the third way is for them to just give you like free advice and just say, hey, here's a local housing authority, here are some resources that'll help you instead of me. Tip number 5, small claims court. Hopefully it never gets to this. I've never gotten to this point, but it's a great option if maybe the loss is under $10,000 or whatever the amount is in your state. You would represent yourself, so it would be a one-on-one duel in front of a judge between you and the landlord. But this would be a last case resort. And again, if you have a good feeling that the landlord is justified in taking some or all of your deposit, then small claims court would definitely not be a good option. As I mentioned before in the beginning, if you actually damage the apartment, just own up for it. You don't want to get all the way to this point and waste time and resources. And those are my top 5 tips. Hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok or my blog as well. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.